the Garage Gym Experiment podcast. My name is Adam. I'm here with Jake, and we have a great episode for you tonight. We're going to start off with the 2024 HomeGymCon update. We'll get into some new products, some coming from Fringe, Bells of Steel, and then also another product from Bulletproof Fitness. We have those survey results, which are a few rack hardware questions, which strength sport is most popular, and a few others. So with that, Jake, talk to us about HomeGymCon 2024.
All right. Thank you, Adam. So as a reminder for anybody who hasn't heard, it is coming back next year in 2024 on April 26th and 27th. Same place as last year in Fringe, Indiana. Last week we announced 23 returning vendors signed up within basically 36 hours. We listed them last week, but we were also able to add some ones that weren't able to make it in 2023 pretty much right away as well. So to add to the list, we also now have Arm Assassin Strength Shop, Fringe Sport, Darko Lifting, Torque, Dialed Motion, Havoc, Cerberus, GetRx, Mayhem Strength, and Bear Steel Equipment. Yeah, pretty solid list. We're actually running out of space. So if you want to be a vendor, you're going to have to sign up pretty soon. And I will say, I thought we were going to have one more added to the list before this podcast. I don't think I've told you this one, Adam, that's coming, but it's a good one.
Yeah, I'm getting surprised by a lot of these. So I see them like pop up on the picture. I was like, oh man, Jake didn't text me.
It's been so fast. I think last year when I was doing it, I was like, oh yeah, we got one finally.
Yeah, right.
And I was like, all right. But yeah, this one's just been like bang, 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 bang. Haven't had a few new ones in a few days. So I think that is over with. But honestly, we're probably going to try and figure out a way to add some other spaces. But on the expo floor, there's probably only room for like 5-6 companies or so.
Not bad with 11 months to go.
Not bad. All right, let's move on to some new products.
This first new product is coming to you from Fringe Sport. It's the Unlimited Racks. So you can go from a squat rack to a 6-cage upright. It's a budget-friendly option that you can build and add to over time. One important thing to note is that this utilizes 2x3 posts compared to most customizable options, which are 3x3 posts.
Last week, Bells of Steel released the Hydra sliding lever arms. So these include a trolley system. It looks somewhat similar to what Rogue has, but it is also an import item and also about half the cost of Rogue's. I think the biggest complaint with jammer arms is a lot of them are just more difficult to move around, and these wouldn't be so difficult too.
Also coming from Bells of Steel, they have the Hydra leg curl and leg extension. $400 for this rack attached leg curl leg extension. The best price leg curl leg extension attachment that you can find. And it's also created for their Hydra racks, which continues to add more and more attachments to it. It's a true 3x3 uprights with 5/8 inch holes. Did I hear they're going to do 1-inch hardware?
I've heard it for a while. I don't know what's taking so long.
Still cool. They're adding to the Hydra. That's super cool.
Yeah. And eventually it should be the 1-inch holes, which will be pretty cool. This one's quite a bit cheaper than Titans. And just speaking from personal experience with the Bulletproof Isolator, I find myself pretty much leaving it on this leg curl / extension height setting. And so with that, this is like a third of the price of the Isolator.
Well, even like a standalone. Do you know how much like the Titan rack attached?
It's like $700-800.
Yeah, so their standalone's like $6 or $7. You can get it on sale for $5, but this still is $100 cheaper than like the best sale price you can find for it. It's a great price.
Yep. And then speaking of Bulletproof Fitness, they released the Tri-Post Rack / Isolator Stand. So this is supposed to be a rack combination with a single stand for you to use your isolator on. It is built with 9-gauge steel. Just think most racks are built with 11-gauge steel, so it should be pretty stout. The 2 uprights in the front can, like I mentioned, couldn't be used as a traditional squat stand. A pull-up bar is included as well. And then when not in use, they can be folded up. And then, as we mentioned, the single upright is kind of specifically for the isolator. It also includes some roller J cups, holes for suspension trainers, and a dip bar. Lastly, it can be stored away and put away when not in use. That seems like a lot to take off the isolator and then also store it away. So it seems like a pretty stout thing that most people would probably just leave up. That's on the pre-order price is $899, $799 or $899, which seems like a pretty good price for something like this.
Yeah, it almost makes the isolator, it's rack attached and it like almost gets in the way of your rack. This almost makes the isolator like a standalone machine, like in your space. Or I could see this being great for like if you're a personal trainer using those uprights to like bench off of, squat off of, and then be able to hook up the isolator for like a ton of other movements. Yeah, it's a neat option.
Yeah, I like the superset option. I can't quite picture why it's better than a 4-post rack. If you're using the isolator, I think it would take some use to really understand why it's needed. Yeah, pretty cool. All right. Survey results.
Jumping into the numbers. All right, we're starting off with 71% of people are more likely to buy something from gym equipment companies that support the community. That's going to be up 19% from last year. When you think of people who support the community, I mean, for us, it's people who came to HomeGymCon. I kind of feel like an allegiance to a lot of those guys. I don't know about you, Jake, but as I was walking around, I was like, I need one of those, and I need one of those, and I need one of those. So
yeah, for sure. And I think everybody that went has that allegiance as well. And, you know, I just keep seeing a lot of comments like, we decided to buy from here because they were at HomeGymCon.
Yeah.
Or we bought First Form because they were at HomeGymCon, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah. I was actually thinking about switching my pre-workout to First Form because like there's less caffeine, and I feel like I have a caffeine problem with all the Reigns I drink. I think the 200 milligrams is more up my alley than the 3, since I'm drinking like 2 a day.
Their pre-workout is very good.
It was good.
And it's not as did you have their pre-workout?
Yeah.
I don't mean taste wise. I don't mean you mean actually energy drinks.
Yeah. I meant their pre-workout energy drinks, their carbonated ones. Yeah.
Yeah, those are good.
Sorry, I call that pre-workout, even though it's energy drink.
Yeah, but their pre-workout is a little less intense as well. I liked it.
Do you know what just jumped up like on my short list of things I'm going to add to the gym? Did you see the Black Widow dip stand?
Yeah.
So like I'm building out that little cardio section in like the finished area of my basement. That's definitely going in the corner back there. So
yeah, that's a cool piece. All right, moving on. So 19% expressed a high interest in upgraded rack hardware. So not too high, but there's a good amount. And then also in another question, 11% said that they would be interested in paying more for welded nuts. So that's an example of what we meant by upgraded rack hardware, or you could also do like black zinc or something like that. So next up.
All right, this next one is 2/3 of people own a 3x3 rack, and that's either with 1-inch or 5/8 inch holes. 70% of the people polled said that in a perfect world, they would own a 3x3 inch rack with 1-inch holes. So if you are in the business of building racks, 3x3 and 1-inch hole is the popular option.
Yeah, and that's most likely what people are aiming to upgrade with as they go forward. All right, so a cardio question. So if you could only have one heavy cardio machine option, which would it be? So this one was a little tough because the Instagram only does 4 options, but the most popular option was the air bike / rower option. It received 48% of the votes. Treadmill was at 25%. So you could pretty much say that the treadmill, air bike, and rower were easily the most popular. The stationary bike also received 15%, and then the stair stepper was around 12%, and it's basically what we saw last year. So nothing too crazy there.
I was kind of curious about where you stand on this question.
If I could only have one and price was not a concern, I'd go motorless treadmill. But if I did want the best bang for my buck, I'd probably go rower.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about you?
I mean, yeah, just because of like how I'm training now, like a treadmill. When I do have like running injuries, man, I'd love to have like a rower because I want to keep my cardio up. And like if you can't run and you can't get on the treadmill, it's like pretty frustrating.
Right. Yeah. There is value in having multiple. Yeah,
for sure. All right. We polled a question just with 3 companies out there, Rep, Bells of Steel, and Titan. And if you were to fill your gym with just one of these companies, which would it be? And Rep dominated this one. 77, almost 78% of the votes went to Rep. Bells of Steel and Titan pretty much split it at 11%.
It does sound like you've got some pollen in your voice.
Man, yeah. I'm not crying, folks. I'm just puffy-eyed.
All right. So last one, we asked which strength sport are you most interested in? And this one didn't vary too far from what we saw last year as well. Number 1 was powerlifting with 40.5%, bodybuilding number 2, 28%, CrossFit or Olympic weightlifting at 21%, and then strongman at 10%. We saw a slight increases in powerlifting and bodybuilding up from last year. The Ollie/CrossFit and strongman are down slightly. And then also just keep in mind, this is just basically like saying who this audience is. It's not saying powerlifting is more popular to the general public than bodybuilding. It's just who's answering these questions. And I had no product idea this week, and it doesn't sound like you did, Adam. So that's going to do it.
All right, that's going to do it for us. Did you like tonight's the episode? Be sure to keep your eye out for new episode releases wherever you listen to podcasts. Stay involved on our social media sites by following Garage Gym Experiment and taking part in our Sunday surveys on Instagram so that you can be a part of these conversations. Like, follow, subscribe to the channel on YouTube, and get involved on our website for all your home gym content needs. Be sure to follow HomeGymCon 2024 as we're building that out to be twice the event it was last year. And last year it was an awesome event. And by last year,
times the event.
Five times, not twice, 5 times. And by last year, I mean like last month. Yes, follow HomeGymCon on Instagram, website, Facebook, and all that good stuff. All right, Jake, you have anything else left for the listeners?
Nope.
All right, guys, that's going to do it for us. Remember, strength is never weakness, weakness is never strength. Goodbye.